Hello there. Welcome to News Island, Guinness Rome, broadcasting from News Island. Forget me trying to do accents. Whatever last effect I use from the end of the last episode is always on whenever I start a new one. It's kind of like a Tarantino. Or like it's a little trademark I do. Some people say, why do you use effects? Like, oh, I noticed you used effects on your podcast. Well, my question is, why didn't you? I don't know, man. I used to use effects. See, I used to be, I play guitar, and I used to play guitar in bands, okay? Like, pretty fucking chill, like, pretty fucking sick, bro. And I used to use effects on my guitar, so, like, I transferred them, I guess, to a podcast. I don't know, I guess it's just, like, entertaining to me. And, I guess I don't know that many that use them at all. Like, I know, like, annoying YouTubers might use them. Twitch streamers might use them to, like, react to games. I don't know what the trends are. It's not because I was like, oh, I'm doing it. I just thought I liked it personally. That's why anybody does anything, like any band that you like. Why do they have their sound? Well, that's because they took what they're into and they put it into what they're doing. Like, oh, why don't you ask, like, hey, Billy Joel, why do you sound like Billy Joel? I don't know. I can't think of any. Why does, I don't know. Again, I can't think of any other example. I don't know. I kind of started using them when I started the podcast, but then there's like, there's like a podcast Brendan Walsh does called World Record Podcast that I really like, and that's not why, like, I'm not copying them. And then he had the Bone Zone, and I think he used effects on there, but I didn't think about that when I started mine. Like, I kind of like always did effects on videos that I did for YouTube too, so it's just something I like doing, I guess. I don't really need to explain it for you people. Like, do I really need to explain myself? You shouldn't have to put that on me to explain what I am to you. It's on you to understand and figure it out yourself. It is not on me. So just turn the podcast off if you think I need to explain myself and my situation. You can go. Do not put that on me. Okay? It is fat-phobic to eat healthy is fat-phobic. Okay, so I just heard about, hold on. Okay, so I just heard about this, and this is like a real thing. Like, well, the fat that is, the fat, I said. Hold on, let me do kind of a breaking news type of thing. This just in, everybody. First ever FatCon is going to hit Philadelphia soon. A convention
to help fat people navigate, quote, this fat-phobic world. It's called Philly FatCon. And I'm pretty sure it's not a joke because I saw a video of the person that's running it. It's in October 2023, which you gotta admit is kind of a fat month. Well, the fattest month is probably
December. Would you think maybe what is the fattest month out there? What is the fattest I know that's a weird thing to say, but I'm guessing it's like around the holidays. Okay, I can't really Google it. the fattest month. Like, when do people... It's obviously... All right, you know what? I'll just answer it. It is the holidays. It's around late November, December is the fattest time of year. And maybe I should remember that for the next, like, holiday podcast I do. To do fat. The fattest time of year, guys. That should be a new, like, holiday song. It's the most fattest time
of the year. It's the most fat. It's the most fat-erful time of the year. It's the fattest time of the year. It's the most fat-erful time of the year. Yeah, so like, I'm probably at my fattest around late November, December, I would say. And is that, intentional? Not really. Just kind of the way everybody kind of fluctuates around the year. But I mean, if you really want to know when I'm at my fattest, and I do consider my fattest to be when I'm my most empowered self. This song is, I'm glad it went into this track. This is kind of more a positive motivational style track. But yeah, like, that's probably when I'm at my biggest, fattest, like, and it just kind of happens every year by year. That's when I do the fat con, because that is probably the height of my fat, is around the holidays, like late November. I mean, October I'm getting there because we have Halloween, and I do chunk up a bit during Halloween, I just kind of go ahead and help myself to a lot of Snickers and king size, like Twix and Milky Way.
Like,
I'll get all the Halloween candy, and I'll tell myself it's for the neighborhood kids around Halloween, but it's just for me, really, because, like, I don't live around a lot of families. Like, I don't have, like a lot of family kids running around with costumes around my neighborhood, so I end up just kind of helping myself to the, and I tell myself again, like, okay, I'm gonna buy full-size candy bars for the kids and be extra nice to the kids, because you always love that as a kid, to get the full-size, big nougat-filled, sometimes it's kind of a chore to walk up to the front steps, so I just go ahead and have my rascal, and I just kind of go ahead and use that to, like, just scoot on up to the house, and I'm like, can you just go ahead and just pour it in here? I don't even want to have to say hi or, like, wave or, like, get a bag out. Just kind of pour it down my throat. Like, just go ahead, unwrap it, and just fucking, stuff me.
yeah, so I did just see a video with this, I guess, creator, the person who runs this fat con. I don't know how you would, well, I don't know, look, it's going to be interesting. Where's this going to get coverage on? I'm guessing only stuff like The Blaze here, which, yes, The Blaze is a right wing, I think, a right, like, conservative thing, because I know Glenn Beck's on there, The Blaze, but then they have, like, younger people on there too. But yeah, I guess they're conservative, I don't know, but I mean, this shouldn't be the way it is, but yeah, I mean, the only people that are going to talk about this is probably the right wing. Because look, you guys on the left, you want this. You guys have won all this, you guys want to take up these causes. Everybody who's aggrieved, you go ahead and get in our party, and we're going to, we're going to promote you, and we're going to help you put a Philly fat con on. Like, and look at this, like, it's weird, like, you become, like, less, and I knew I was going to make this like a fat bashing podcast. Look, this person in the middle is really not that bad. Like, I don't even know if she should be here. Like, she might be like just kind of like curvy sized, you know. She really like, if are these real people or just like stock photos of big? I'm guessing they're real people. Maybe. Well, I don't know actually. I mean, are they, or are they just like stock pictures of big? Because, like, I was going to say, these two here look like they're twin sisters. Like, white, kind of emo-y. Well, there's not emo anymore, so what is this called? I don't know. E-girl. What's it called? Wearing a Daniel Johnston shirt on the left here. So that's basically, like, you know. It's very interesting how we went this, like, hipster alternative kind of lifestyle, but then big like this also. That's kind of interesting because, like, you know, when I went to college, is when I first encountered the hipster movement, you know, which I guess everybody was using that word since the 60s, right? Like, or maybe even back to the beatniks or whatever, like a while back, like hipster was used probably. But then, like, it came back when I was in college and I ran across these guys that were really into, you know, like Pitchfork magazine that reviews music. Anything that they liked was like, you know, they'd followed Pitchfork and all this stupid indie music. What was big around that? Daniel Johnston was kind of one of those cult following people that. But anyway, these hipster guys are really into Radiohead. They were really into whatever was big at the time. Sufjan Stevens, who I still don't really know the music of. Just a lot of hipstery music. I mean, indie. But now, and back then, this was all like real skinny people. Real skinny guys that I knew at college, like real skinny, like looked like they didn't eat, period. Maybe they were like vegan. I mean, some people were starting to become vegetarian, vegan then. There was no woke, though. That's the thing. Like, back then, these guys that were like that, there was no woke. There was no talk about race really yet. I mean, this was like 2006, 2007. Now, when did that probably start? Like, around when Obama was running. I just noticed stuff like that about, like, coming up a little bit. Just race, but not like, you know, the woke stuff yet. I mean, maybe that was coming, though. Maybe that was what was going on. But anyway, all those people were skinny, very skinny. And still, a lot of the people here in Brooklyn are like that still. But then you have these big, you know, fat is like almost saying the N-word now. You can't even say fat. I feel weird saying fat unless I'm around people I know. And, I mean, I don't know what. Here's when, like, people say fat now. They'll be like, I don't want to get fat, like, about themselves, but they don't really say it about someone else. It's just like they're bigger. I don't know. People avoid that word now, I think. Like fat con, but that's kind of the way they're like, we're reclaiming the word fat.
We're saying fat. We're reclaiming that word, much like black people do the N-word. They call each other. Hey, my fat. Yo, my fat bitch. It's empowering. It's like really empowering.
To like call a bitch, like, hey, you fat bitch, come over here, fucking fat slut. It's empowering when we do it. You can't do it, but when we do it, it's like empowering, you know what
I mean? So they're like hipster looking, but they're big. I mean, these are big, except for the one in the middle, like I said, who is just slightly above average. Like, I would just think average, really. Like, I don't know why she's really trying to work so hard to be in the fat community. Like, she could easily get it. She's on the line where she could easily be out of this group. You don't have don't go. Somebody be like, no. Come back. Don't go down that road. Don't go down this is my identity. You can easily leave that road. Don't go down that's a dead end. Don't go that way. Come on. It's dark down there. You don't want to go. There's it's a whole thing. You have to make it your identity. You have to then say everyone is phobic because they don't want to have sex with you anymore because you get so big and keep getting bigger. I mean, no, just anything else. You look Indian, just use that. If you're gonna do the woke thing, just at least just stay in that. You don't have to go into that fat gateway into becoming what's it called? Non-binary. Because that is what they do. I mean, that is what this lady who created this, who hopefully it shows it on here. Okay, so I didn't finish. I'll just finish this thought about the picture here. They look alternative hipster, and these two look the same too. These are the same people. So this can't be real speakers at the event. It has to be. I mean, these two look the same, and these two have to be the same person, just in different clothes. So that's kind of weird. But what I was gonna say is, the whole hipster thing, they would look down on big people like this, because that's basically small town, blue collar, dumb people to them back then when I was in college and stuff. When hipsters were the thing, they'd be like, oh, these fat Americans that just consume products and capitalism's bad and all this stuff. But now they basically, to me, really, I don't. How are you against capitalism, but you're this big and you eat this much product? That doesn't make any sense. But I guess they're gonna probably use it somehow. There's some woke, logic that they're gonna have to come up with that makes them still a communist, but big like this and needs a lot of food. But it's because it's your identity or whatever. So, it's called a fat-focused convention. And it's in October. Adrienne Ray operates a plus-size clothing site. The thing is, if you're part of this movement, to me, you've basically thrown in the towel, I think. I can understand if you want to say I'm curvy, I'm not skinny, but then to call yourself fat, I'm part of the fat acceptance movement. To me, you just are I am this now. Now I don't have any why even bother to lose weight at that point? If you're because when stuff like curves first came out, I don't think it was you're fat and that's an identity. It was more if you're big, I don't know. I just don't think it was this big whole identity back then, But to go to this convention, I just feel like that's your lifestyle and you've chosen that, and you're not going to be dieting you're not even going to bother because this is your whole identity, and you're going to start blaming people for not wanting to sleep with you because they're phobic. That's your identity now. And you'll probably become non-binary because for some reason, now, if you want to be non-binary, that's fine. I mean, do whatever you want. I'm not do whatever it's just it's weird that they're all plus size people that decide to go fluid, go gender neutral or whatever. Because look, and this is going to sound really mean, I don't know, but just look at these women here. There is something about being this big where you just don't have a define, you don't have definition anymore in your body, and you just kind of could be a guy or a girl, you know what I mean? When you're a baby, it's the same. It's baby fat almost. It's look, I'm a little baby, and like, is he a boy or girl? Like, cause does it matter when a baby, like, or even a toddler, if they still have that short hair and all that? Like, you know, both of my nieces, like, you could have told people they were, they were a boy for a couple of years, until their hair grew. Like, there's like a phase of that, like, and that's like what these people are like going back to. They're like, because seriously, like, as a man, I guess you can grow a beard, you can still look like a guy, but like, if you don't have a beard and you're just like a big, somebody like an Asian guy that doesn't have a really strong face like me, I don't have like I have a weak chin and all that, so that's why I have facial hair all the time. Or people always are like, sometimes guys, will be like, oh, growing out your facial. It's like, I mean, there's a reason. It's not like, I mean, I'd have to be at a certain weight in my mind to just completely shave. I'd have to, like, because as soon as I start gaining weight, it's in my cheeks, it's in my face. Some people gain more weight in their like bottom half or like their stomach. It's weird. I've seen guys where they kind of just get a big gut and that's it, and the rest of their body is kind of like the same. It's really weird. It's like they're pregnant or something. And I'd rather have that. Like, I'd rather have not my head get big when I'm gaining weight, but that's where it goes. That's not only where it goes, but it's just my whole body gains the weight. It's not kind of like these girls here. I mean, not very strong chins that you can see, and just kind of formless, like, just, I don't know, just like we're just like shapes. We're not really, I don't know. And then with the short hair, it's like an extra thing where it's like, well, I guess that's, like I said, it's just like you lose definition in your whole form. That's why Demi Lovato went and became they, them. Remember that, guys? That was pretty recent. Demi Lovato gained weight and then decided to be non-binary because it's pretty easy. It's not very hard to look not as whatever, masculine if you're a guy or feminine if you're a girl when you start gaining weight. You just kind of look like that. Like, you could have joined that Heaven's Gate cult that like focused on being non-binary. They basically were like they, them before it was cool back then. The Heaven's Gate group. They hated sex and all that. But weirdly now they're like, oh, you're not binary. Well, we're all about sex though. It's like, what? And then they're going to get mad if people don't want to have, oh boy. Panels will discuss topics such as fat fashion, social media influencing,
and how to navigate fat phobia. That phrase, body positivity, has become bogged down with relating to body image.
one of the organizers claimed.
What people in larger bodies need to do is step away from constantly talking about body image, because that can be very triggering for folks who have disabilities, chronic illness, and have been dieting on and off all their lives. Other draws for the convention include a fat sex therapist named Sonali Rasheshwar, whose pronouns are they, he. Pretty interesting. They are a super fat, queer, bisexual, non-binary therapist and co-founder of Radical Therapy Center, specializing in treating sexual trauma, diet trauma. So they or he
describes themselves or himself as super fat, which I guess, again, is another thing like, oh, I'm empowered because I'm calling myself fat. Queer and bisexual and non-binary. So figure that out, guys. Queer and bisexual. Like, if you say queer, isn't that just already assuming, like, what? It doesn't make any sense. Don't say both things. But just asking that question could be seen to the. I'm sure this is definitely the type of person who will get upset about anything. VIP ticket holders will get an opportunity to chat with Sana Lee, during the meet and greet in the VIP lounge. If you guys want to go ahead and get those VIP tickets, all right, let's see if this works. I want to see if there's any. No, can't see comments. Nope, they probably limited comments or something. They're gonna get slammed by people. I mean, I'm not one of these people that's just gonna be like, you fat whatever, but like. And then look, it says the event also provided a COVID-19 policy, which recommended getting a booster now in 2023 and taking a COVID test 48 hours prior to the event. So guys, don't think you're being safe. If you buy those VIP tickets, you better make sure to get a COVID test now in 2023, guys. If you want to really be risky, why even have an event? Okay, why you're discouraging people from going then? Hey guys, come to our event and get VIP tickets, but also, COVID-19 is still there, hidden somewhere. I mean, go fuck yourself. Like, all these media that are now. I saw, like, just recently, like a week ago or something, like, they were like, oh, summer COVID-19 surge? Is there a surge of COVID? I'm like, maybe, like, well, if the cold has a surge every year since the dawn of time, then maybe there's going to always be a COVID surge. I don't give a fuck. How would there now be a strong variant out? That doesn't even make any sense, too. Hey, don't turn your back on COVID variants. There could all of a sudden randomly be a really somehow very contagious and very deadly variant. How does that make any sense? Like, how does that make sense? I know once in a while there's a bad flu going around some years, but, like, we've never done anything about that. We've never gone, like, don't go outside, don't go do life. I mean, it's just another, like, the common cold. It's the flu. We just know those are things that we don't have a cure. Like, yeah, they're going to come up. Every year they're going to come up. It's just so tiring. I don't even care. I just can't believe this. Can't believe this. It makes sense it's at Philly because Philly is pretty, when I was living there, I mean, it was pretty hard left there. Pretty far left activism going on in Philly. I mean, this is kind of I might follow this or something. You're inviting trolls, like, they're probably limiting comments on everything. Yeah, I can't see. I'm not logged in, but guys, check that out if you want to go see. If you want to, if you need other people that are big to. Oh man, that's funny. They still have Fat Tuesday every year. I wonder if they're probably just gonna say that's, fat phobic or whatever. I just think.
We really need to accept bigger people, because I'll get hungry, often, and I shouldn't have to feel othered just because I want a second full pizza for lunch,
Yeah, I did hear Biden gave no comment on the Hawaii thing. But I kind of think sometimes because he's so mentally not there, I don't know if he, like, I can't even believe he's on a beach going on vacation. Like, he probably, man, he just, like, he makes me tired. That he looks so old and, like, tired all the time that I feel tired just looking at him. I'm like, dude, this guy is running again? Are you crazy? God, gives shorter and shorter, like, interviews, takes questions for shorter amounts of time. I mean, pretty soon they'll just never, ever have him speak, and he'll just be like, you know, people be like, Biden thinks that, Biden thinks this. It's like, we'll never see him, and it's just kind of like the Wizard of Oz, where he's behind that thing, and it's like, don't go back there. You know, Biden will be just back, hidden somewhere. Just give it, like, they'll say what he, I don't know. Anyway, I saw this. I was looking up news earlier, and I got a new horrifying news story, guys. Well, kind of a somber note. A serious, macabre story I saw here. There's just always gruesome. I mean, the true crime stuff lately has been insane lately. I mean, and it's another thing where I'm like, well, it could just seem like that because true crime is always murders. But they've been so gruesome lately, and all these, like, wives hiring hitmen to kill their husbands too. I just keep seeing crazy shit pop up. Like, I'm not even looking for them. I don't even go look at, like, true crime news. It's just on regular news. Like, I was just, like, looking for news, and this came up. Mom finds woman's body wrapped in plastic in her son's room. California cops, so this was in California. Just wandered in her son's room. Oh, hey, who's that woman wrapped in plastic and dead in your room? 20-year-old woman wrapped in plastic. Unclear how long she'd been dead in the room. 26-year-old son did it. That's really the only details it says here, but that's just another story. I mean, like, where do you go for this? I don't know. Just news? I mean, talk about idiocracy. Have you guys seen these stories about Elon Musk about to fight Zuckerberg? I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why doesn't God just end everything? I mean, how long did it have to get bad in Sodom and Gomorrah or whatever? Like, when does God just go, I'm gonna make a new flood? Like, when does he do that, you know? Two billionaires fighting fake. Like, well, maybe they'd really fight, but I don't think so. Their companies are worth too much money. You think they would really, like, be allowed to... Well, I guess they own the company. They're like... Elon Musk says he'll show up at Mark Zuckerberg's doorstep in a Tesla to fight as billionaire trash talk continues. Now, I don't know if they're trolling each other. I haven't been really following this at all. I just keep seeing headlines about it. I thought it was a joke at first. I guess they're joking, like, but it seems like Zuckerberg is more serious about it. And he just seems like he might not understand trolling. Even though, like, supposedly, Elon Musk is supposedly autistic himself. But Zuckerberg seems like more where he doesn't get maybe humor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how Elon Musk is that, like, Asperger if he can troll and, like, he gets humor a lot. Because that's supposed to be one of the, like, signs autistic people not understanding humor and stuff. You know, I think that's more Zuckerberg to me. So, like, you know, this is obviously Elon Musk trolling when he says here, I'm going to show up at Zuckerberg's doorstep, ready to fight Monday night. After the Meta CEOs told him it was time to give up on the trash talk. He said, for the Tesla, whatever, test drive in Palo Alto tonight, I will ask the car to drive to Zuckerberg's house. And if he answers the door, the fight is on. And then it says here, Zuckerberg won't be home Monday since he's currently traveling. Also, Mark takes the sport seriously and isn't going to fight someone who randomly shows up at his house. So that to me is like Zuckerberg's like really training. And like look at this, like this fucking he's such a dork. He is such a dork, man. I understand that people probably understand how Musk probably is annoying to people, like, but like Zuckerberg is such a fucking dork. Like, he just seems like he doesn't know humor to me. Like, look at this face. Look at. I seriously take this serious. Okay. If Elon ever gets serious about a real date and official event, he knows how to reach me. I'm going to focus on competing with people who take the sport seriously. Look at his face all serious. He's like putting this guy in a manhandling this guy. This kind of reminds me of that weird rich guy in that Foxcatcher movie where he like randomly had wrestlers out there training and made a wrestling team like because he just like had a bunch of money. I mean, yeah, I don't really think I would assume that like Elon isn't like Zuckerberg's seriously training. Like, is he actually like, I don't know, picturing Elon Musk when he's training and shit? Like, I don't see you training. It doesn't seem like you're really serious about this, like, Musk. Elon, enough trash talk. Can you imagine how awful Zuckerberg is, like, to know? I'm training. God, enough of this fucking January 6th stuff. You know what this January 6th stuff, that the fact that they're still talking about it, you know, now Mike Pence is like against Trump on it. Like, all the politicians are just such little babies. Like, you know, I mean, it was just a stupid idea. Like, to me, it was just like embarrassing, I guess, like for other countries to see us become a third world country. I mean, you would see something like that in Brazil and whatever, like, but it wasn't a fucking terrorism act. Like, they're acting like all these politicians were like, I was scared for my life. I'm just so sick of it. Like, you had one scary incident. One time. I can't think of anything else. Except maybe back to the Civil War, like we had that whole summer of just businesses being fucking destroyed, like everybody just bored, just like looting and shit. You guys had one like afternoon of people just looking dumb as they walked into the Capitol, and endless complaining and whining now about it. Like, just shut up about it. Like, let's just, you know, maybe you guys get some security and not let people in again. You fucking let them in. I saw video. The guy just kept backing. He just was like, all right, I guess they're coming in. Like, he did nothing. He almost waved them through. It felt like he was told to stand down, and they probably were. I mean, they obviously wanted to get Trump on it. Like, they wanted to go, all right, stand down because good. If they make a lot of damage, we're going to see what Trump did. And that's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing. That's all they're doing is like, all right, let them do whatever they want. And they really didn't do that much except for like that one guy who sat on Pelosi's desk or whatever. And then any damage they did, like, yeah, don't do that. But like, they let them do it clearly because they wanted to get Trump somehow charged with it, which they did. So, plan worked, I guess. Now all they're fucking acting like they're PTSD and shit. Sam Bankman-Fried.
Sam Bankman-Fried. Fried, whatever. However you say it. Judge orders jail to give Sam Bankman-Fried depression and ADHD meds. He's sad, guys. He's a little sad, guys. Oh, he needs Adderall, apparently, which is bullshit. Bullshit, yeah.
Yeah, he just wants Adderall. Give me a break. So this guy scammed everybody, but he's fine. Because he was tied into politicians and everything. Yeah, so he's still, I guess, oh, he has a little return of depression and ADHD symptoms. Oh, no. Well, he got the meds, so, oh. God. Oh, sad. This is funny when they have, like, oh, this is good news. Like, this is a good thing. This is one of those, like, just in, guys, good news. More Americans than ever are drinking hard liquor, Gallup poll reveals. They're hitting the hard stuff, booze such as bourbon and vodka, as opposed to wine and beer, which is good. Why do you think that is, guys? This is good? Yeah, this is a sign of, like, everything sucks, though, to me. I mean, it's not like, yeah, more Americans are partying. Like, yeah, while it all goes to shit, you know? I don't know, I'm kind of bored by all these stories here, but, well, I guess I did talk about Biden being asked about the Hawaii wildfires. I don't understand how there's fires everywhere. Like, pretty soon they're going to be in New York City fires randomly when there's no trees around, no woods. Hawaii, an island with water all over the place. Yeah, there's just wildfires. I don't know. We're not going to look into it. President Biden had yet to offer a verbal statement Monday evening. 80-year-old commander-in-chief avoided reporters. Wow, what a surprise. Upon his return to Washington. Walking directly across the White House lawn without approaching the press to give a statement on the tragedy, which Trump would have got endlessly slammed for. Oh, wow, look at this. So Biden was just on the beach on vacation. And, so former Hawaii legislator, this just in, guys. Oh, did it get deleted? Former Hawaii legislator, something, can't say that name, early Monday said, now, I campaign for you. Now when I lose dozens of my friends, family, and neighbors, this happens? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd like to see if any left-wing politicians slammed him. I don't know. It's annoying that it's so political all the time. Like, just... Oh, what party am I? Okay, now I'm mad at him. It depends, though. Like, why is it always a, like, party issue all the time? Like, the Afghanistan thing was horrible. Like, you know, objectively bad, like the way we pulled out there. But, you know, it's like, oh, I'm on the right wing, I'll criticize Biden. Oh, I'm on the left wing, I'm just going to not say anything. You know, I'm going to say, hey, look, it was going to be bad, whoever. Like, that's what they said back then. Hey, look, there was going to be a bad thing anyway. I mean, there's no good way to get out of there or whatever. Okay, so I want to talk about... Guess what, guys?
Watch out, I'm going to get pretty controversial here. So go ahead if you are easily offended, if you're easily upset, you can go somewhere else. All right, I'm going to really go off here. Maybe my worst,
maybe the thing I hate the most about NYC, the Big Apple. The thing I hate the most is trying to find somewhere to piss. Now, I know you're thinking, wait, what do you mean? Like, bars or whatever, and Starbucks and bars or whatever. But it's basically the same as any other place. Like, if you, whatever town you live in, think of how many places have public bathrooms. I mean, it would just be restaurants. But then if you think in New York, there's a lot of small stores. There's a lot of those stores that you might have in a smaller town would be bigger sized and have a bathroom. There's a lot of little smaller versions of those places in New York. And that means there's not a lot of bathrooms, and it's fucking crazy. I mean, the fact that it's so big here and it's so hard to find somewhere to piss, I mean, it's crazy. It shouldn't be illegal. It shouldn't be legal. It should have been changed who knows how long ago. And I did read something once that they did used to have like paying or something. You could pay to use like a little urinal, and they did away with them because it was like offensive to homeless people or something. Okay, we'll just not have anything because homeless people can't afford to. Like, dude, if a homeless guy's waiting outside, I would just open the door for him. It's one of the easiest things to do. Just wait outside if we had those here, which we should. And the only time I've seen one of those is at this one park here. They did have one where you could pay like pretty low amount, like, not much at all. I forget how much it was, 75 cents or something. And you just get to, I would love that. Everywhere I go, every park should at least have one of those. Now, some parks here do have public, just open toilets or whatever, but like most of the time that's not open. Like, I mean, just think about like a park isn't open all day or all night. A lot of them close like at a certain time. A lot of them are just like, oh, we're closed for this season. Oh, we're closed for maintenance. Like, I can't even count how many times that's happened. And not only that, it's like, okay, fine. I get it. It's a park. It's, maybe not open right now. But then you go to a store and you think they have a restroom. And they go, yeah, it's closed right now. Or, yeah, it's down. It's, it's not working or something. And they just don't let you use it. Like, sometimes that will happen. There's a lot of Starbucks here and places like that where they just go, yeah, the bathroom's closed. Yeah, everybody walks in looking for somewhere to hopefully not have to piss themselves. Now, I haven't done that somehow. That's like almost unlikely to not have done that at some point here. I mean, I was just walking around earlier and I was thinking, I saw this guy with a water bottle, and it had something yellow in it. Now, I don't think it was piss because he didn't look like somebody that would walk around with with that. But it did look like it could have been. I was thinking, you know what? I wonder if that's not a bad idea to have a bottle with you if you had to. Now, I guess I would only do that if I was like drunk and stupid at the time, like, because as a guy, I mean, well, I guess as a woman too. As a human being, as an adult, you don't like ever want to be out in public with your dick out just and have someone see it. Like, that is a huge fear of mine. Not like it would happen unless you're doing it, but I'm just saying if you think you can maybe sneak and piss somewhere. And there's really hardly anywhere you can do that unless you're in a park somewhere. But then there's not a lot of some of the parks here, they have like trails and they have backwood areas. And I guess but then there's a lot of people here. It's pretty likely somebody's going to walk by and see your little, see you holding it or like going, and then putting it back in or whatever. I mean, I wish I could read that. I agree with it. If New York is so great, why isn't there anywhere to pee? I agree. And it seems like there's becoming less and less now. That's the thing. You can now pee on the street in New York City. What? The Criminal Justice Reform Act was passed by lawmakers Wednesday, allowing people to do what Drinking out of a paper bag, lurking in parks after hours, and being overly noisy is on the same list as public urination. This was in 2016. I don't know if this still is active or not. This is 2016. It doesn't say if, yeah, this is, I don't know if this got signed into law or not. Well, it probably basically is now because of all the police reform stuff. Pandemic spike in public urination turns NYC into the big toilet. With no public bathrooms, the Big Apple is now the big toilet. This was in June 2020, and that was like pretty early pandemic. You know, I guess like the lockdowns were going on. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, that was kind of lawless. That was almost a lawless state. Like, yeah, like I have had an app that would like, that was like just for bathrooms. Because you will have that happen here. I mean, it's just too big of an area. There's too many. Like, oh, I'm going out. Oh, I'm going to go get something to eat. And then at some point, you're going to have to piss. And the city's too big to just, like, run home and then go back out. I mean, I guess they'd rather have people piss out in public and in the subway, like, terminals because, you know, I mean, it's impossible. It's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, one time I was running around with, me and somebody were walking around. We couldn't find a bathroom. We went to a park. Nope, closed. And I just ran into a place. No, they had no bathroom. And then basically, we thankfully just found a place that had a bathroom way in the back. And then I think other people realized it. And this, I think, was because a place closed. And I mean, this was like a year or two ago. Or no, it was like a year and a half maybe ago. The pandemic really did alter a lot of stuff because like the hours of places closing changed. I mean, the pandemic, like who's really going to focus on public urination compared to everything else going on? Yeah, see, this person has like a bunch of places memorized. Lower Central Park, the Apple Store, like all this stuff. Like I did, I have saved places that I knew were bathrooms. And I remember there was a Seinfeld episode where, like, George knew where every bathroom was around. And that's basically how I have to think because, I mean, I never used to want to ask that places. I just would look and leave if they don't have one. But I did get to the point where I'm like, I'm just asking. Like, you have to ask, too, because sometimes they'll have an employee bathroom. And they will let you use it sometimes. I've even used a bathroom at like this little, barbershop. It's just like fucking ridiculous. Yeah, see, they made like special websites where to go. There's a book about it. There's a book and a website that lists clean toilets in Manhattan. The Bathroom Diaries. There's a website called that. The Bathroom Diaries. It's gone. Yeah, this was a while ago, 15 years ago. TripAdvisor. I don't know if I've ever used this website. Okay, so this is one of the things I hate about celebrity news. Is when they say somebody is flaunting their body, but it's just like them getting a picture of someone in a bikini, like... It's just so stupid.
Demi Moore, 60 years old, flaunts fit body in green bikini on yacht in Greece. I don't know, dude. I mean, Dude, she was fucking... Like, do their publicists pay for these stories? I mean...
You know, it's like, I didn't really think much at first, but then is when they said 60, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, you can see she's older a little bit if you look at it. Like, but if they wouldn't have said her, that's another thing. They always say their age. Like I said before, like, if it is their publicist, they're not doing them any favors by always listing their age. Yeah, she was flaunting her body. She was flaunting her body. Now, was she? Like, do they know that they're going to have pictures taken? I mean, probably. I mean, you can tell she's had work done on her face there. Yeah, like, there's something gets weird on people past a certain age. Like, after your 50s, I guess, maybe. You get this weird sagging... Ugh, I don't want to think about it, but... That's just what happens, guys. She probably works out a lot, too, but... And, like, how, like, cool would that be to just have a boat like this? I just hate the flaunting. I'm flaunting. Hell yeah, hotter than ever. And it's another thing where they're like, she's hotter than ever. Like, I guess Ashton's probably like, what did I get rid of? Like, they always imply they're better off now, like when they're single. Like, oh, they got a divorce and now she's flaunting her body around. Ugh. What kind of creeps get this job? Like, yeah, like I agree with that. Hold on, this is 2020. Like, this is maybe the one, like, I don't know. It might be one of the, it's up there, top, like, 3 things that are the worst thing about NYC is, like, worrying about where to go to bathroom. That's up there. I mean, unless you know you're going into a restaurant. If you're just going out and you're like, how long am I going to be out? Where am I going to be? Is there going to be a bathroom in the place I'm going? You know, if you're going to, like, just, I don't know. A lot of places don't have them. And then, like, you know, if you go to a concert, like, I've been to concerts. And if you wait till the end, there's this fucking huge line. Or if there's a break or intermission. In any kind of event, everybody goes to the bathroom, so it's like a huge line. I mean, at least you're a guy if you're me, so... I'm like, you always look at the women's bathroom, like, oh, fuck. Oh, wow, look at this. Like, I guess I've never done this. I mean, I guess because of the pandemic, stuff was closed. I didn't, like, that's not really... This person says, my friends and I talk about public urination all the time now. Sophia, a 23-year-old who lives in Park Slope and asked that her last name not be used. Tells, I wonder why.
She said, it's a big topic. Since the pandemic, I've done it myself in Prospect Park behind a dumpster in Williamsburg and Greenpoint. All of the public restrooms like McDonald's and Starbucks are closed. If you are far away from your home, what are you supposed to do? The Brooklynite who is recently unemployed never leaves the house without tissues. Sometimes when I am out for a bike ride, I won't drink water because I know that I will have to go to the bathroom. Then there are no options. If I'm going to meet a friend, I have to think about my liquid intake. The lack of bathrooms
has come front and center during the recent Black Lives Matter protests that have swept the city. So that's why they are concerned all of a sudden. They don't care ever for anyone that's not doing a fake activism thing. Yeah, like, I just think, like, I mean, like, look at this quote here. I mean, one East Village bar owner said he saw a handful of people peeing in the park 2 Sundays ago. I got to the park after 7 and people said the bathrooms were closed. People go out and bounce around, and after 4 drinks, you need to go. We can't let people go into our bathrooms, they're closed. This will be a problem. I mean, yeah, and then people were drinking outside in the pandemic. Because you couldn't go to a bar, so people would just go get drinks at a window of a bar. And like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't see anybody do that though around the pandemic, but I guess if I knew people were doing it, like, yeah, at a park, if you have, yeah, I still like would be worried at a park here because so many people walk around in the parks. I mean, there have been some secluded areas in parks here. Like, I would want to go way into the back in the trails and stuff, like where you're like, oh, there's no one around. Or like I thought of earlier, carry a bottle in a backpack and just have. But then again, you still have to be public urinating, so it's just like you're a dog and you put it in a bag and stuff. Imagine taking a shit and then putting it in your backpack and walking back around. Well, I don't want to pollute. I'm going to put it in my backpack and then I'm going to throw it out somewhere and be good for the environment. Well, when you think about it,
It's good for the environment to take a shit and compost. Human composting. To compost your own poo and just like kind of have it out on the earth is good for the environment. It's more like,
it's good for the environment, guys. Just be eco-friendly from now on, guys. Bring your own toilet paper. The earth is your bathroom, everyone. The earth is your toilet. You don't need to find a toilet. Just go outside and just be in nature and let nature do its business, you know? We shouldn't feel shame. It's kind of like a shameful activity. We have to hide our bathrooms and do it in private. No one can look. Why not just be out there with it and just kind of, if you're a woman, just squat. Just squat down and pee, or grab your own toilet paper and just squat down and let one come out. And why do we have to hide nature? Kids should see it, and then your kid will be like, "Hey, Dad, can I do that?" And then you show him how to do it in nature, and he'll be. It's a good bonding experience out in the streets. Are you going to protest for Black Lives Matter? Well, don't forget to bring your diaper. Don't forget your little poo-poo bag that you can go compost in the park. I mean, look, just do it. Just have people see you do it and don't feel ashamed of your body. Will that be the next woke movement? It's just PDA, but it's public displays of urination. It's natural. It's a kink. Well, people do have that as a kink. Just let it flow or let it plop out of you, and let people see, and then you can share tips on how to get rid of your shame. Because if you have trouble doing it in public, that's a shame filled thing that you need to go to therapy for and start being able to do it in front of everyone. Have people gather around and say, "Hey, this is nature. Watch it come out." And then you can, share tips on how to make your stool look better and take pictures of it and share it on Instagram, guys. Yeah, it's a new TikTok challenge. Public pooping. I'm getting it started. Tag a guy in his room. Tag me. Spread the brown around the town. Everybody can leave their mark, literally. Mark your territory. Because this is nature. This is eco-friendly. Let's do this. Let's be green. And let's be yellow. And brown. Spread the brown. Around the town. Yeah.